So we're not talking about today's technology, we're talking about technology that's 15 years old. I just found the camera was dancing and losing its way. It didn't know what I was looking for. It didn't know what I was trying to achieve. G'day everybody, how are you going today? It is so very good to see you. We are in spring. Look at these beautiful flowers right here. They are looking absolutely spectacular. I just thought I had to shoot outside. Blue skies, just so glorious. The conversations rage, don't they? Comments full of opinions and ideas and use cases and thoughts and expectations and desires and so many different things drive why we say what we say. In this video, I want to explore why it is that I don't use motion tracking. Because someone got a little bitey in the comments just recently, and it got me to thinking, well, why don't I use it? Why have I never picked it up? But we're going to go on a little bit of a journey, and I'll answer that question a little bit later as to why I don't. Just want to share with you how we got here first with this video being made today. So sometime in the mid-2000s, I became aware of motion tracking. And I attempted to use it. And what I found in that era, that the camera's desire and capability, what it was finding, what it was trying to do, simply was not catching the motion, the person, the thing that I wanted to do. I was basically arguing with it. I was grabbing the camera and reframing it and trying to get it to dance on the right part. And I had a bit of a theory. I had a bit of a theory this morning that perhaps the reason why I could never really get these systems to do what I wanted to do is because I like what I call a dirty frame. Now, some people might know what I mean by that, and some people might not know what I mean by that. But what I mean by that is I like a frame with foreground, things here, like this, and I like things here, like this shot here really. We've got the flowers, and I like depth, and I like objects. Now those objects create for a system, and then I like to move sideways. And for these systems, it's confusing. So the way that I compose a frame confuses these systems. And let's say you're shooting an event and there's people moving here and there's people moving here, and these things are all going on. I'm not talking about technology today, because I'm talking about why I took a path. Why is my trajectory where it is? So we're not talking about today's technology, we're talking about technology that's 15 years old. I just found the camera was dancing and losing its way. It didn't know what I was looking for. It didn't know what I was trying to achieve. And so I'm busy trying to get the shot, and it's like, come on camera, get yourself in focus. Come on, this is not the bit that I want to get. No, I've decided to put my subject on the far right of frame, and I've got something else going on here and whatever else. Why fight with a camera that doesn't know what you want? And that was my experience. And even today, when I put it in, when I try these things out, I still find, and it doesn't matter what system I was on. I spent 2 months working with the A7R III as my travel camera as I went through Europe just 2 years ago. And they all do the same thing. If you've got a dirty frame and there's objects all over the place and lots going on, and this is how I like to shoot. This is how I like to shoot. Like if you just put someone's head in the middle of a frame and there's very little else going on, yep, I'm sure these cameras are very successful. But that's not how a lot of my compositions are. So ultimately, and again, I will reiterate, I'm not talking about the current crop, I'm not talking about the last 3 years, because my habits, my technique, my style has been formed over decades. I just spent more time arguing with the camera, trying, just come on, just I want to frame this bit. Can you get? It just wasn't. It didn't get it. It didn't do it. And I still think these systems aren't perfect. Definitely when you have one head in a frame with face detect, sure, no problem. But there are many situations, especially events, something like when I toured with the MSO, where there are faces everywhere. Like we're talking about an orchestra, there are faces, and you are choosing one face in a crowd because you're deliberately trying to create drama with depth of field. I don't want to wait for the camera to try and work it out or keep kind of trying to nudge it to get a result. And in the meantime, you've lost a shot. No, I've always got my finger on the focus. If I'm shooting this style, I know, I anticipate my frame, I know where I want to be, I get things to where I want to get them to. And the difference between these two styles is, one, you're relying on the camera to get there, and sometimes it'll do it quickly and sometimes it won't. And it's when it won't is the issue. When it dances around, it doesn't know because you've got multiple faces. So that's how this comes about. This is why I manually select. I like a dirty, complicated, lots of layers of depth, things, trees, stuff going on all the time. That is what I like. That is how I shoot. That's how I create depth and a cinematic feel. I'm not shooting at 5.6 or f8 most of the time. I shoot wide open most of the time, or just a click or two back from that, just to give you a little tiny bit of wriggle room on your focus. Just depends on what you're doing and what people are doing and how much ambient light you've got and how much you have to push your gear. But I have learnt the techniques before these things existed. I've tried to use these things, and with the way I shoot, the dirty frame, the short depth of field, compacting lots of layers, I simply don't want to wait for the camera to decide. It knows what I'm thinking about. I'm very happy to just nail it. By way of saying this, of course these things in 2020 and maybe 2015, I'm not going to pick a date, I don't know, because I don't use them all the time. I just try every year or two to see if they're getting to the point where they understand my way of shooting and my way of framing and my way of composing for depth. There are many situations that these technologies today would work brilliantly. I am not saying they don't. I'm just saying I've got history to how I got to where I got to, and then I have a style of photography which I think confuses the cameras and they struggle to get it right for me, for my particular style. So that's it, everybody. That is why I shoot the way I do. I love the way I compose. I love a frame full of stuff just like this frame here. I love the out of focus background, so you really know there's depth, and I'm here, I'm with the tree. You know I'm with the tree because this is in focus. I love that. This is my perfect frame, and a mixture of high and low, the dynamic ranges here, all that stuff. This is what I love. Now, that may well push the technology. Great, I love doing that. May well push the dynamic range. Great, I love doing that. May well push the focus system. Great, because I'm looking for shots that I love. I'm not looking for shots. I'm not trying to compose shots that the camera can handle. Because if I can manually override it, bonza, I will. That is why I still don't use motion tracking. Now, maybe one day I will, I don't know. I'm never going to stop with the dirty frame. Not every shot's a dirty frame, but anyway, that is a conversation for another day. As always, everybody, thank you so much for being here today. It has been so very good to see you. If this is your first time here, it is lovely to meet you, and I would love to see you again. So please subscribe, please share, please like, and if you'd like to see over 200 videos right now, you can just look right down there and see some more. All right, let's enjoy this blossom. Oh, so good, so good. There you go, face detect. Can we confuse it? Dirty up the frame a little bit? How's that looking? Is that messing things up? I don't know what it's going to do. Let's find out. All right. Okay.